All right, today I'm going to show you how to fix a light streak on a Toshiba. This particular model happens to be a 3505 AC. And what we're getting is we're getting this little light streak right here, and it goes all the way through the page. And sometimes you'll see them, little small ones right there. That can be another issue altogether, but this real big one right here, this one can be very costly, mainly because what they want you to do is replace the developer when you see that, because it's got some trash in it. Now, as you can see, I pulled up the PM counts, preventive maintenance, and over here is how long they should last, and over here is the actual count. And if I go to cyan developer right there, it shows that there's 41,300 copies on it. They're supposed to go 210. Now, I will tell you, the color developer in these machines will last pretty much the life of the copy machine, and it should. So having to replace this at 41,000 would be very expensive. So let me show you a little something. So if you were to have to replace this developer and you went to a website, that's what they're wanting for it, $1,760, which is crazy expensive. Even me as a dealer, this stuff is not far off. I won't say how much, but it's not far off. So there's really no sense of, that's just ridiculous. Now, that's only for the color, so you can go to the magenta, the cyan, and the yellow. They'll all be the same. But what we're going to do, instead of having to pay for this and get a service tech to do this and replace this developer and cost you a bunch of money, we're going to show you how to repair this problem. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the drum developer unit by getting this waste toner bottle out the way. And that just pops off with two little clips, and then this whole thing comes right out. And then we're going to go to the cyan, which is causing the problem. There'll be a little clip right there that presses down, and then this comes straight out. Then you'll pull this unit out up here, and we're just going to set it on there. I'm going to pause and get set up. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get this unit apart. So we need to get this cap off right here, and it has little clips like right there, one on the other side, and then there'll be one on this back side. So you just press those in, and you can see that it comes out a little bit. Press that one. Yeah, that one. And then the cap will just come right off. Then you'll take your hand and you'll grip this side and this side. Careful not to touch this green cylinder. That is your drum or your photoconductor. And so we just want to pry these apart just like that. You can see how that does. And then it's just going to slide out. There's a little notch that goes right in there. I'll show you that once we get to that area. All right, so the reason why you're getting those streaks is right there. That is being clogged. There's what they call a doctor blade in here, and that allows a certain amount of this powder called developer to go around this magnetic roller, because developer, all it is metal filings. And it's getting clogged up, and we need to unclog it. But before we do that, I'm going to show you the cause. So if you come back over here to this drum unit, on the top, there is this charged corona unit. And on the side, you can see right there, that little Mylar, that has gotten old and brittle. And you can actually see a little piece of it right there. Now it's down in there, but I can get that out. That's not a problem. But you see it right down in there. This is what gets caught in that developer. And we need to get that little piece of Mylar out of there. Now, once we get that Mylar out of there, then we can put all this back together. Now, to get this off, you have a clip right here, here. And then there's one on this side right here. And then right there. And this can be kind of a little booger to get off. But generally I will pop this side off a little bit like that. Then get that up. And then I'll start prying on it. I will tell you that you do have to be careful not to break these. You want to pry gently and work your way down from one side to the other. Okay, she's starting to come. And then it's holding up right here. There we go. So now she's off. And you will see immediately, find something to grab. That right there. Now that's not going to be all of it. I'm sure there's going to be more in there, like right there. But the best way to be sure that we get all of this stuff is just simply dump it out. We have to get all of this as much as we can. And right here, you've got this little mag roller, and see how I'm rolling it that way? That is the wrong direction. You want to go in this direction right there. Okay. You don't want the developer going back over this Mylar. Okay. You can already see a little piece right there. And you'll notice that I've got this on a piece of paper, and what I did is I just grabbed two pieces of 11 by 17 and taped them together. Okay. Now, once we've got that all poured out, we're going to do like this and let's get rid of this. We don't need it going back in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to do like this. And then I'm going to take a strainer like you get from Walmart, and I'm just going to pour it right on through there. And that's going to make sure that I get all that stuff out of there. So I just shift it just like that. And you can see the pieces coming up right there. And we'll throw out the rest of that. But you can see all the junk left by that Mylar. Now, service techs out in the field, what we will do is we will peel this off. If we don't have a Mylar, we'll just leave this off and just get this out of the way to make sure we don't get it contaminated again. Just for a quick fix. And I'll show you here in just a few minutes how to get this off so that you can get that other piece out of there. So now that we have this nice and clean developer, this will be a lot like, you know, you'll see some videos out there how to replace the developer. Well, this is the same procedure, except instead of pouring it out from this piece of paper, it would come in a bag and you would do exactly the same thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to slide this back just a little bit, and then we're going to take this and we're going to pour it right into the back side. And you'll want to do this nice and slow and evenly. You want to try to get it spaced out as even as you can. Making a mess here. There we go. Now you can see it's all piled up there on the sides. So I'm gonna get that down in there. And if you lose a bit, that's okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my vacuum cleaner and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Now, I do not suggest that you use just any kind of vacuum cleaner. My vacuum cleaner has an ultra fine filter to vacuum stuff up with. So if you use your shop vac, make sure that it's got an ultra fine filter on it. Otherwise, this stuff will go all up in the air. So just for precaution. All right, now that I've got this all cleaned up, what we're going to do is we're going to take this side of it and we're going to go down in this direction. It'll go down like that. There's some little notches right there and right there that we're going to want this to go underneath, and you'll see a little tab right there. Okay, and that's going to go up underneath this notch down here, so we'll go just like that on both of those, and then we'll lay it down right there and we'll give it a good press until we make sure all of those are clicked in, especially that one right there. Okay, so you want to make sure that all of these got down in there like they're supposed to be. Otherwise, when you put this thing back in, it's going to start leaking developer like crazy. All right, so now let's get to the charge Corona unit that still has some of this junk on it. Now, we want to get up underneath this grid wire. This is spring loaded. You can see right there. So what you do is you just tilt this forward like that, and you can see it's got a hook on the other end. And once you release the pressure, then you can just lift this off just like that. Okay, and then the other side is just hooked on. Okay. So now you can get that out, and then you'll see there's that little piece right there. And like I say, just get all of this old Mylar pieces off just to make sure that they don't They don't come off. That's on there pretty tight, so we'll leave it. But you've got an electrode in here, and then you've got a grid wire. Don't use any chemicals or anything on these. These will get replaced later on down the line during a preventive maintenance. Because what I really wanted to show you today was how to save money on that developer, because that stuff is so doggone expensive. This right here, the drum's like 50 bucks. You've got a drum cleaning blade. That is that and this grid wire and some other things come in a color PM kit, and that's done every so often, and that PM kit is not that expensive. All right, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to go to my air compressor and blow this out as much as I can and get it all nice and clean, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got that pretty clean right there. So we're going to go ahead and put the charge grid back in, and you can hook it up this way like that. Come down here, and then you'll release the pressure, then slide it up underneath there, and make sure that it is over top of these little things right here and flush against those right there. Okay, and that'll be the same for both sides. You got that white right there is kind of a bridge, and you want that right on top of it. All right, now we'll come back over to our drum unit, and you'll flip it over towards the drum cleaning blade, and you got a little hook right here, and that goes down in there like that, and it will swing, and then you just give it a good push, and she's in there. Now we're going to put the developer back in, and then there's that hole right there I was telling you about, and then there's a slot right here that that'll go in. So let me get, I'm trying to do this with looking at the camera. So go right there, and then on the back side, see how that little, let me show you again here. See how that hook right there will go into that slot right there. So first get this in right there and tilt it like this, and then get this section in, and now it's hinging. See how it hinges? Okay, and then give it just a squeeze. Then you got it back on there, and then you'll put your cover back on, and this little piece right here will go over the top of that green stick. So you'll slide that in just like that, and then you'll make sure that these little clips go on the inside on all four of them, just like that. Okay, now we've got her back together. So